Hello and welcome to today's webinar entitled Maximize Productivity with the Smartsheet mobile app. My name is Erin Harlan. I'm part of the product marketing team here at Smartsheet, and I'm joined by my colleague Jeanette, who is on our product management team. Welcome, Jeanette.
Hi, everyone.
So today we're very excited to share with you some new improvements and enhancements to the Smartsheet mobile app. So we're going to introduce the Smartsheet mobile app navigation. We're also going to walk through how to collect, manage, create, and edit data using the Smartsheet mobile app. And we're going to review some best practices and key use cases for mobile. So without further ado, I'm going to actually go ahead and hand over the presentation here to Jeanette to walk us through the Smartsheet mobile.
Hi, everyone. As Erin mentioned, my name is Jeanette. I am a product manager on the mobile team here at Smartsheet, and I'm here to demo the mobile app today. And I will be demoing the mobile app on an iPhone, but the same functionality that I'll be showing is available on both iPad and Android as well. So if you'd like to follow along on your device, feel free to do that. Just make sure you go to the iOS App Store or the Google Play Store and update your Smartsheet app to the latest version in order to follow along. So let's jump in. I'm going to start with the navigation experience inside of Smartsheet. And so when I open up the mobile app here, you'll see 5 tabs at the bottom of the screen. I have the Home tab, Recents tab, Favorites tab, Search, and Notifications. So I'm going to discuss the 5 tabs at the bottom of the screen. I'll go through each of these tabs and discuss what each tab is for and why it might be useful for you. So let's start with the Home tab. All of your Smartsheet content shows up in Home. You can think of Home as your browse experience inside the Smartsheet mobile app. Your workspaces are grouped together at the top, and if I tap on workspaces, that'll drill in and show me a list of all of my workspaces. And if I tap on a specific workspace, then I'll see all of the items inside of the workspace. And now when I go back, I'll see everything outside of a workspace will be listed below the workspaces group, and that will be in alphabetical order. And you can think of everything outside of a workspace to be the same as the Sheets folder on Home in the desktop app. It's everything that doesn't fit into a workspace, but things that you still have access to. And so that's this list right here. And then moving on to the Recents tab. Recents is a reverse chronological list of all of the items that you've opened on your mobile device. We found that mobile customers often open the same content over and over again, and we wanted to make it really easy to get back to the content that you view. And so if you open something on your mobile device, it'll appear at the top of your Recents list and make it easy for you to get back to it. And I'll also mention, depending on the tab that you prefer using, we remember that tab when you close the app and reopen it. And so in this case, I happen to be on the Recents tab, and if I close the app and then I come back to the app remembers I was on the Recents tab. And now let's move on to Favorites. So Favorites syncs across desktop and mobile. If you favorite an item on desktop or on mobile, you'll see it across both places. And on mobile, you can favorite or unfavorite an item by either swiping right on iOS, which will give you favorite or unfavorite options depending on the favorited state of your item, or by long pressing on an item on both iOS and Android, and then you'll see the favorite or unfavorite option there. And you'll know an item is favorited by the yellow star that's badged onto the icon to the left of the title of the item. Also, you can see here, after I long pressed on Store Plan, so press and hold, there's more options available to me as well, such as open, renaming, and deleting. So if you're browsing items in any of these tabs in Home, feel free to long press on an item just to see if you're looking for more actions for that item. And now jumping into the Search tab, I'm going to go ahead and search for Store Plan here. And so here I can either type Store Plan, or you see in my recent searches, I've searched for it before, so I can go ahead and actually tap on that. And here I will get all of the search results that match Store Plan. And I can see the icons to the left of the results that indicate the type of item that I'm looking at. So here I see results for Sheets, an attachment, a dashboard, and etc. I also have the option of filtering my search results by tapping the filter icon in the upper right-hand corner. So if I tap that and say, I only want to filter for sheet names that have Store Plan, I can tap on Sheet Names, hit Save, and now I'm only looking at sheet names that have Store Plan or Plan in the result. And now finally, let's move on to the Notifications tab. Notification Center is available on both desktop and mobile. On mobile, as you can see, it's a tab on the bottom right, and on desktop, you'll see a bell icon on the upper right-hand corner of the web app. And notifications supports sheet change notifications, update and approval requests, sharing invitations, and reminders. We find Notification Center is a great way to get out of email and stay inside of Smartsheet. And on the mobile app in particular, we also support push notifications. So even if you're not in the app, you can get a push notification notifying you that something requires your attention, such as an approval request. And then you can swipe on the notification to open it in the Smartsheet app and action on it from there, all on mobile. So this gives you a really easy way to action on things while you're on the go and away from your computer. And now I'm going to have Erin send me an update request so you can see what that looks like live. So here we see the update request from Erin, and I can swipe on this push notification to view it. And here you see that I swiped on my push notification to open it in the Smartsheet app, and now I can action on it from here all on mobile. So I can hit open update form. That'll open the update request. I can go through it, maybe change the date here, and then hit submit update. So this gives you a really easy way to action on your work while you're on the go and away from your computer. And now let's jump into viewing and editing sheets on mobile. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my Home tab and go into Workspaces here, and then find the Store Plan sheet. And so here you will see the Store Plan sheet. It's in grid view right now. And I'm just going to demo viewing and editing content in grid view on mobile for you. And so when I open the sheet, what you should see should look really familiar to what you see on desktop. To view your content in your sheet, you have options to zoom in and zoom out and just pan your content just to see everything, since this is a smaller screen. And like on desktop, you can edit these sheets on mobile, and so I'll give a quick demo of that. And so here I'm going to go ahead and tap on the cell in row 5 in the task name column to select it. And you can see that cell is selected just by the blue line outlining the cell. And once I have a cell selected, I can tap on the blue keyboard icon in the bottom right-hand corner of my sheet to start editing that cell. So now I know I'm in edit mode because I have my keyboard here, and I'm editing the cell that's currently selected here in blue. And we support different types of input options on mobile for editing. So right now I'm selected on the standard text keyboard. If I want, I can tap on the 1, 2, 3 icon right next to the ABC icon, and that switches my input method to a number keyboard, which is specifically useful for entering content like numbers or dates. And on the right, you'll see I also have options for scanning a barcode or inserting an image either through my camera or my camera roll, and I'll get back to that a little bit later. And so right now, I'm going to use the standard text keyboard to type real estate kickoff into this cell. And as I'm typing, you'll see my changes reflected in the grid, as well as the edit bar above the keyboard. So here I have real estate kickoff. And now if I tap this blue checkmark icon that appears above the keyboard, that saves my changes and exits the editing experience. So here you can see saved popped up on the bottom, and then I know all my content has been saved. And also, depending on the column type of the cell that you're editing, we support various ways of editing your content, so you don't always have to use a keyboard. So for example, let's say I have a Boolean column like a checkbox or a flag. You can just tap on that flag to change and toggle it, so back and forth like this. Let's say I have a drop-down cell. If I tap, you'll see the chevron here. If I tap on that, I'll just get a drop-down list that shows me all the values for that drop-down list, and I can go ahead and change it right there, again without opening up my keyboard. Similarly, for a date column, when I select a date column, I'll see on the bottom right there is a calendar icon, so I can either have the option of opening up my keyboard or tapping on that calendar icon. And if I tap on that calendar icon, I'll get a date picker, so I can actually just choose a date right from here and hit done and change the date that way. So for all of these column types, you always have the option of opening up the keyboard and typing, but we also wanted to make it as easy as possible to edit content depending on the column type, so while you're on the go, so you don't always have to open the keyboard. So that's a quick demo of editing on mobile, and now I'm just going to switch gears and talk about filtering a little bit. And so here on the corner, you'll see a filter icon. So in order to use filtering on mobile, you need to set up your filter on desktop first. And on mobile, then you'll be able to toggle those filters on and off. So if filters are available for your sheet, you'll see that filter icon that I just pointed out. And so I can go ahead and tap on that. And here you see for my sheet, I have one filter, which is the at-risk filter. So this is just going to filter for all of the rows that have at-risk flagged. If I tap on that, you'll see now that my filter has been set. And you can tell that's set because the filter icon is now filled. And you'll also see here in my sheet, I have significantly less rows. All of the rows that don't have at-risk flagged are now filtered out. And so once I'm done with my filter, I can just go ahead and tap on the filter icon again, tap no filter, and now I'm back to where I started. So next up, let's talk about grid actions. We support grid actions for rows, cells, and columns. The equivalent of grid actions on desktop is right-clicking on a row, cell, or column to get more actions. So here let's start with the row actions. So if I single tap on a row number, what I'm going to get is the row actions toolbar. And so here are all the actions available to you for a given row. And so I'll just quickly highlight a few options here. So we have our insert or attaching files or attaching pictures on the left. Those are the icons with the blue plus. You can look at your row comments or your row attachments. The green number indicates the number of row comments or row attachments on your row. We have options for editing the row, and I'll get back to that in a little bit. And then as I scroll right, you see options for sending an update request, sending a row to someone, cutting a row, and then on the far right, options for indenting and outdenting your row, inserting a row above or below that row, and then deleting your row. And so I can just demo one of the options here. So I'll go ahead and tap Request Update. And here I can send an update request to Erin, for example. I hit send, and she will get that update request from me, and I did that all from my mobile phone. Jumping into the cell actions, if I press and hold, so long press a cell, I'm going to get actions specific to the cell that I've selected. So here I have similar options to my row, but more specific to the cell. So I have edit row again. I also have options to view the cell history for my cell, options to copy my cell contents, and similar to the row actions toolbar, I have options for indenting, inserting above and below, and deleting. And then next we have the column actions toolbar. So like the row actions toolbar, you can get to the column actions toolbar by single tapping on a column name. So here I'll single tap on stage. And now I have my column actions at the bottom of the screen. So we have options for sort as well as column properties. And so you can use column properties to change your column names, change column types, delete columns, and etc. And now just quickly to go back to the edit row option that you saw in the row and cell actions toolbar. I'll open up the row actions toolbar again, and here you have the edit row option. So edit row, if I tap on that, what you'll see is my row 5, but in a vertical layout. So this shows all of the content in the specific row that I'm looking at, and it's really good for row by row editing use cases. So if you prefer editing content row by row, the edit row screen is a great option for you. You have all of the same editing options available to you in the grid, such as toggling a Boolean, changing a dropdown, inputting text, and more. And like in the grid, I can also insert images or barcodes into cells. Here I'm going to add an image from my camera roll so you can see what that looks like. So I'll go ahead and choose a picture. And here you see my picture has been updated. And if I hit save, we'll see that change. And finally, let's jump into some actions for the sheet. So we've talked about row, cell, and column actions. And now I'd just like to talk about global sheet actions. So if I tap on the vertical ellipses on the upper right-hand corner here, I'm going to get all of the actions available for my sheet. So starting from the top, you'll see my sheet name, store plan at the top, and a yellow star. If I tap on that star, I can favorite or unfavorite my content right from this menu. Right below that, I have all the options for switching views on my sheet. So right now, my sheet is set to grid view. On mobile, we also support list view, calendar view, and Gantt view. Here on this particular sheet, calendar view isn't supported, but if you had a sheet that supported calendar view, you'd see that option here. So if I tap on a particular view, that'll switch the view in the background, and then I can, for example, go to list view right now. And then you just have some global sheet options below the view switchers, such as searching your sheet, sorting, sharing, sending, etc. The numbers, again, next to attachments and comments are the number of attachments and comments on your sheet. And then also the green number next to forms is the number of forms that are associated with your sheet. So if you have forms set up on desktop for a given sheet, you can access those forms from your sheet here. So I can go ahead and tap on forms, and here you see I have a store plan sheet form that is associated with my sheet. And if I tap on that, I can open the form directly on my mobile device. I have the option of filling that out, hitting submit, and if I go back to my sheet and hit refresh, you'll see my new entry right here from my form. And so that is all for our sheet. Let me talk a little bit about dashboards on mobile as well. So on mobile, editing and creating dashboards is not available yet. You can only do that on the desktop app, but you can view all dashboards that you have access to on mobile. So here, if I open up the Store dashboard, you'll see this dashboard here. We support all of the same widget types that you see on desktop on mobile. So here I have a report widget, I have a metric widget, and then if I scroll down a little more, you'll also see a chart widget. We support two different types of layouts on mobile, what we call mobile layout and desktop layout. So here I'm viewing my dashboard in mobile layout, and mobile layout is essentially a reflowed view of all of your widgets into one column. So as you see here, I can just scroll vertically and see all of my widgets on top of each other. And this just makes it easier to see content on a smaller screen. If you'd like, you can switch to desktop layout by pressing the blue icon in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And desktop layout essentially just mirrors what you see in the web. So whatever you set up on the computer, you can view it exactly like that on your mobile device. And if you'd like to look at something closer, you can zoom in and you can zoom out, or double tap on a particular widget to fit it to the screen. So that's all we have for the demo today. We're continuously adding more functionality to the mobile app and always love to hear what our customers have to say about how the mobile app works for them. We really appreciate your continued feedback, and please keep it coming.
Great. Thank you so much, Jeanette. We really appreciate you walking us through that. I just want to remind people, too, that if you don't already have the mobile app, you can download it here. So we've actually got a QR code here. You can scan it right on your screen using your smartphone, and then you can download the mobile app either in the App Store or the Google Play Store, and feel free to download it and try it out today. So we do have some questions. I'd love to kind of go through some of those. Jeanette, first question is, what devices can I use with the Smartsheet mobile app?
We support iPhone, iPad, and Android. So on all those three devices, you can download the Smartsheet mobile app.
Okay. And Android, is that just phones, or does that include?
Both phones and tablets.
Okay, great. Why should I use the Smartsheet mobile app?
So while we aim to provide a seamless experience between the desktop and mobile app, I would say that the mobile app is really built to be tailored to use cases that really shine on mobile. So I'll just give you a few examples of that. So for example, when you're on the go, as I mentioned earlier, you can use push notifications to stay on top of the work requiring your attention no matter where you are. You always have your phone on you, and you'll know when something needs your attention. Another example is capturing images. Many of our customers who use mobile in the field use their phones to quickly snap a picture or videos of items that require their attention, and then they use the Smartsheet mobile app to attach those files quickly to Smartsheet. And finally, inputting data via forms is also a really big use case on mobile. As I demoed earlier, forms are available on the mobile app, and many folks who use the mobile app today to input data do so through forms.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's one of my personal favorite use cases. Is I love to fill out forms on my mobile just because it's really easy for anything from expense reporting to I do my own personal budget tracking to whatever data collection. It's really easy to do on the mobile device.
Right, exactly.
I also love attaching photos, and that's something that's unique to mobile that you can't do on the desktop very easily. Is I can just take a picture and attach it right there.
Right, you always have your camera attached to your phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Here's another question. How often is the mobile app updated?
We generally update both the iOS and Android apps on a monthly cadence, and what I would suggest if you'd like to get the updates right away is to enable auto updates on your device so that the App Store or the Google Play Store automatically pushes any updates that we make straight to your app.
Okay. Another question is, where can I go to learn more about the mobile app?
So So you have a few options there. You can use the help articles. That's a great resource. So going to help.smartsheet.com and searching for Smartsheet for iOS or Smartsheet for Android. You can also get to the help articles directly from the mobile app by tapping the settings gear on the home tab and then tapping help from there. And then also, if you have any questions about the mobile app, we found that a lot of our mobile customers use the Smartsheet community. That's a great place to ask questions as well.
Okay, perfect. One more question. How can I provide feedback on the mobile app?
Great question. You can provide feedback either by leaving a review on the iOS App Store or Google Play Store. The product managers on the mobile team frequently go through that feedback, and we're always listening, so that's a great resource. And then you can also send feedback in the mobile app directly by going to the Home tab and then tapping on the settings gear and then tapping on send feedback from there.
Great. Awesome. Well, thanks, Jeanette. I really appreciate you taking the time to share with us all the cool new stuff that's coming out with mobile. And I wanted to just also invite everybody as well that if you want to learn more about the mobile app as well as other new functionality coming out in Smartsheet, we invite you to join us at our annual Engage conference, which this year is going to be October 1st through 4th at our headquarters in Bellevue, Washington. So it's a great opportunity to learn about Smartsheet best practices and tips and tricks to become an expert in work management. It's also a great opportunity to connect with peers and share your story with the Smartsheet community, and also an opportunity to hear from inspiring visionaries as well as other Smartsheet customers on how they use Smartsheet and what they're doing to solve business problems. And then, of course, we love to share all the new stuff that we've got coming out, and it's an opportunity for you to share your feedback with us. So we do still have registration available for individuals, or if you're planning to bring some colleagues with you, we do also have a group discount available. So we'd love to see you join us at our conference this fall if you're available. That is our time. I do want to be respectful of people's time. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on the next webinar.